Sponsored by Robius Raiders. We are crew, not passengers. Go Raiders!
Today we will be reporting about the first of the 7 basic principles, which is popular sovereignty. Kings and queens declare that their power came from God, but in the preamble of the Constitution, it states, "And we the people, that the authority of the leader is declared by the people." That will be all for popular sovereignty.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. And now over to Mr. S. with limited government.
This just in. The second basic principle of the Constitution, limited government, only allows government to have the power that the Constitution gives it. And now to war with the separation of powers.
Separation of powers keeps our government equal. First reporting will be the executive branch. The executive branch consists of the president, our friend Obama, in the White House. This branch carries out the laws. The president may appoint federal judges, which leads us into our next report, the judicial branch. Here's Rory to tell you about that branch.
Second, we have the judicial branch, or a system of courts that explains or interprets the laws. Now to Olivia with the legislative branch.
Third, we have legislative.
Each branch of government has the power to check the other branches so that you have an equal government, and this is true. We need balanced power to get us through.
Now available on iTunes. Next, let's go to Lucas Frankie on federalism.
Federalism, the even distribution of power between the states and the federal government. Now, in the Articles of Confederation, the states were left with too much power, leaving a weak federal government. So the makers of the Constitution decided to make sure that the Constitution had neither the federal government or the states have too much power. Now to Jonas Wilkie.
This is Jonas Wilkie with Republicanism. And who are you, young sir?
William Strong.
And what are you planning to do?
Check off please.
Interesting. Now, have you thought about republicanism lately?
Don't you go using big words with me.
Well, republicanism is when the citizens of the United States elect representatives that represent them in the government.
Is this on television?
In fact, it is. Hi, Mom! And now to Jordan Webster with separation of
Messed up
powers.
on that last part. I'm here for the individual rights. Did you know that the Constitution protects your rights such as freedom of speech, religion, and the right to trial by jury?
No way!
Yes, it does. I am Barack Obama, and I approve this message. This has been the 7 basic principles of the Constitution.
Hello, welcome to the U.S. Constitution Show. We'll be back after this brief set of
The
commercials.
U.S. Constitution gave us the right to alter the government. We already have the right to bear arms, but we don't have the right to arm bears. Arm bears, arm bears, arm bears. Join our Facebook page to help support the cause.
Watch the presidential debate tonight. Here's a clip.
Yeah, well I bet you're not even going to protect limited government.
Well, I am.
I bet you don't even know what it means.
Well, limited government means that the government can only follow the rules that are protected by the Constitution. So watch the presidential debate tonight on ABC at 7:30, 6:30 Central.
And this resembles the separation of powers. Here's the legislative branch.
I make the laws.
Here's the executive branch.
I'll carry out the laws.
And here's the judicial branch.
I will decide if laws are constitutional.
Go to separationofpowers.gov for more information on the separation of powers.
The few, the proud, the government. Can you name the 7 basic principles?
There's popular sovereignty, limited government, separation of power. Oh, what's the next one?
Checks and balances?
What's that?
Oh, that's what. It's pretty much means that the government can check and balance so they can make sure there's no one government piece or branch of government that is ruling.
I don't know, okay. I get it.
Our government wants to put age restrictions on our marriage. Can they do this?
The answer is no. The power of marriage and divorce restrictions is only allowed to the state government. This is an example of the principles of federalism. Federalism is the division of power between the state government and the federal government, or the national government. So in a way, federalism is our nation's glue.
Breaking news, Republicanism.
Citizens are demanding that Jack Pierce become their new representative. They feel Republicanism will only work if their representative is elected by their people and help make fair laws.
I agree, and I'm willing to be the representative that people want.
Now back to your program. Hey guys, did you know that the Constitution protects individual rights?
For example, I have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and right to trial by jury.
So keep putting your ideals out there and stay strong.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're back with our special guest, Barack Obama.
Today we have breaking news about a scandalous thing that the government is doing. Let's see at home here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
I need your fruit.
My fruit? No!
Yes, your fruit.
Not again! I don't have any fruit!
You should have fruit.
But I don't have it! You took it all from me last week!
And you're supposed to get new fruit every week.
Don't take my fruit! Please!
Yes, your fruit.
My fruit! This tragic scene is happening to homes all over America. It's a bad sign. Let's see what other people think of it. No fruit taken without representation! Yep, it's pretty tragic. The popular sovereignty is a horrible thing, and so we are going to try and take over the government because they cannot take our fruit away from us.
This just in. Before the Constitution, the colonists lived under the British tyranny of King George III. But thanks to the second principle of our government, we will now have a limited government. The framers thought that
no one is above the law, including the king.
Everyone, from me to them to you, is not above the law. Now on to Principle 3.
Principle number 3, the separation of powers. This basic principle divides the government into 3 branches. First, let's learn about the executive branch.
The executive branch is headed by the president. The president can veto or pass the laws.
The legislative branch consists of the Congress and the U.S. House of Representatives. These people can make our laws.
The judicial branch interprets laws. This is to make sure the laws are constitutional.
Next up, a new report on the checks and balances system. Let's go to Lindsay Stevens for more information. President vetoes new law.
The legislative branch has created a new law that people in America can no longer drink water due to pollution in the water, which has caused several deaths.
Veto. This just in. Judge claims law is unconstitutional.
We have decided that people in America can no longer play the guitar.
What? That's stupid. That's unconstitutional.
This news has been brought to you by Checks and Balances Incorporated. Checks and Balances Incorporated supports that each branch of government should have equal power.
Federalism. What is it? Principle number 5. Over the past few years, states have had their own government. They could do things like make their own money. And they didn't have to pay taxes. With principle number 5, we've changed that. With the government can now keep going. The government can now declare war. States can also do things like
the state can still make laws on speed bumps, death row, and can still make rules on state elections.
that's all for federalism.
Hello, I'm here to talk to you about federalism. Federalism is the sixth of seven. Republicanism. Is the sixth of the seven basic principles of the Constitution. Here's James Madison to tell you more.
Hello, everyone. Republicanism lets citizens elect representatives to send to the government to carry out their will. The representatives can vote from their own judgment, but still have to pay attention to the opinions of the citizens. Brought to you by White Curly Wigs Incorporated. The power's in the powder.
Let's get away from talking about federalism and talk about some individual rights.
Oh my gosh, have you heard? Our individual rights are protected by the Constitution, such as the right to trial by jury.
Guilty. Case closed.
Freedom of speech.
Protest.
And freedom of religion.
Amen.
Thank you for watching the series on the 7 basic principles.